not do so without an overwhelming consensus of the American people. There must never be a narrowly voted impeachment or an impeachment supported by one of our major political parties and opposed by the other. Such an impeachment will produce the divisiveness and bitterness in our politics for years to come, and will call into question the very legitimacy of our political institutions. The American people have heard the allegations against the president, and they overwhelmingly oppose impeaching him. They elected President Clinton. They still support him. We have no right to overturn the considered judgment of the American people. Mr. Speaker, the case against the president has not been made. There is far from sufficient evidence to support the allegations, and the allegations, even if proven true, do not rise to the level of impeachable offenses. Mr. Speaker, this is clearly a partisan railroad job. The same people who today tell us we must impeach the president for lying under oath, almost to a person voted last year to re-elect the speaker who had just admitted lying to Congress in an official proceeding. The American people are watching, and they will not forget. You may have the votes, you may have the muscle, but you do not have the legitimacy of a national consensus or of a constitutional imperative. This partisan coup d'etat will go down in infamy in the history of this nation.
What up, man? Listen, home, by popular demand, people now selling merch. Man, look here, all right? We got 3 designs. We got the Pnoid Gorilla regular avatar. We have the Red Dead Redemption. And on top of that, man, listen, we got motherfucking Angry Gorilla, all right? We got t-shirts. We have onesies for your baby. Take your baby and turn it into a baby gorilla. On top of that, we got pillows. Come cuddle up with the gorilla. And on top of that, we got cell phones and mugs. Cop you some merch right now.
Anyway, Tom Peas, we are live.
Man, what up? Welcome, all y'all. Welcome. We are fucking back, baby. Jesus, goddamn Christ. Oh, we've been going a long time, and I apologize to y'all, man. And I'll be honest with you. Yo, look, you know what I'm saying? My audio quality ain't gonna be as good as what it used to be because you know what? My laptop got stolen. My car got broken into. I'm fucked up. It's Christmas time. I gotta provide for my family before I'm able to put money back into my hobby. So we ain't gonna do it right now. But for the first time in a long time, you know what I'm saying? We are back with my bottom bitch, my partner, my muse, the only YouTuber with goddamn bedazzled knee pads. Accelerate. My nigga, where the fuck you been? Goddamn bitch, costing me money and shit.
I bow to the audience, man. I'm pretty sure everybody in the chat, they're going to press 1 to welcome me back and wish that I come back every Thursday night from here on out. Which, that's something me and Pino were going to talk about. Every Thursday nights might not work for me anymore. Might have to pick another day. No, I know it sucks because for what it was, almost 2 years straight, 8 p.m. Central Time, 9 p.m. Eastern, it was Pnoid Lifetime.
It was, man. We took a couple months off, and Excel had to recharge the batteries and go to work and make some goddamn money. You know what I'm saying? Which is fucking important. You know, and like not only that, but you remember battle fatigue, Excel? You remember that shit from like World War I and World War II and shit?
Yeah, I think that's what it was, man. My heart wasn't in it.
Yeah. Like Excel just got to the point where he was like, nigga, I'm gonna take a nap. And, you know, I mean, I'll be up before I gotta go on the show. And like, I'm calling him. He's like, why you calling me, man? Fucking like, yo, I'm like, bro, like, yo, because it's showtime, dude. We've been doing this every day for 2 years. And he's like, yo, man, fucking, I feel some sort of kind of way. And I'm like, yo. I fucking like yo, and I'm like, I'll give you more money, nigga. Like I will give you more money.
That's exactly what it was. He's like, I'll PayPal you. What do I have in our PayPal? $30. I'll pay you $25. Just I need to buy a pack of smokes.
Like yo,
it's just like cool. I'll take the PayPal money, but that wasn't the problem. I've never really cared about the money. Speaking of your laptop, it's pretty hilarious because before, I've had this goal up here forever. And I remember it's because it's when we reached our last goal, and you were like, "Let's make a new one, the Fishing Channel Boat Fund." Yeah, we didn't get anywhere close. You're just like, for $1,000, I will make a fucking boat.
Not for $1,000, nigga. I would get some cardboard and fake it like fucking garbage, nigga. We would get wet. Like, yo, people in the chat over here, motherfucking saying, whatchamacallit, over in their chat, they said, you've been gone so long, you ain't even changed your tag. You know, the last stream we did was on Halloween.
Yeah. True story.
Yo, it's been a minute. It's been a minute. Legit. Fucking gonna be Christmas next. You know, I mean, we ain't done a stream since fucking Halloween, nigga. It's been 2 months since we've been on the adult.
It doesn't even seem like that long for me because I've been so busy. Like, everything's just been a blur. I couldn't tell you how many days it's been.
Yo, the one time, Victor Rand said nothing in Pnoid's car worth taking, just dirty diapers and banana peels. The one time that there's something in my car worth taking,
and a fucking laptop and a studio mic.
Right? Yo, not like, it was never in there. Like, never. I never left my shit in my motherfucking car. But that fucking day, because it was Thanksgiving, I came home and I had to bring in my laundry and all the stuff that was like in my motherfucking like in my car, because I had like laundry and then I had stuff for Thanksgiving. Like, I bought a turkey and all this shit down in North Carolina, right? And I fucking brought it back up. Like, I had found out I was doing Thanksgiving on Thanksgiving, right? And I was in North Carolina, so I stopped at a grocery store down there, grabbed all that shit, brought it home in the truck, and I put like 2 bags of ice in my dog box outside the goddamn truck and shit. So it was fucking cool. I went back up to the motherfucking PA and got back there at like 5 o'clock in the fucking morning after driving 9 hours to get the fuck home. Exhausted, just dead fucking tired. And I sat here and I fucking got all my, I sat here and I got all my stuff and I went into the fucking house and I left my laptop in my bag in the car. I'm like, I'll grab it when I come the fuck back out. And I woke up and I went back out there and the motherfucker was gone. I was like, son of a fucking bitch. Like, yo, these motherfuckers here. Like, yo, but it's all right. It's all right. You know what I'm saying?
Man, no, it's not all right, man. I told you earlier, I feel some sort of way about that because like, whenever you first started live streaming, you had like, what, 200 subs? Mm-hmm. And some of them I think are probably still in here, and even if they're not, they're in here every once in a while. They saw you live streaming, and you're just like, look, I just need $500, and I can get like a total legit setup. And you were planning on doing it in what, like 3-6 months or something like that?
Yeah.
You got it in like 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And it was very humbling. So I feel like they stole a little bit more. They stole not just from you, but the community that supported you.
Like, yo, this will happen, man. And you gotta remember, like, junkies are junkies. You know what I mean? This shit's gonna happen from time to time. Like, I lost faith in humanity a long fucking time ago.
Yeah,
that's why, like,
it's less about humanity and it was more about what that laptop represents.
I understand what you're at.
You could look at that laptop every day and be like, you know what? I need to make content because the whole reason I have this piece of equipment right here is because of the people that want me to make content.
I feel you. You know, I mean, that's why I kept charging on. You know, I'm still making videos, and I found out if I use my earbuds, it sounds way better than if I talk into the phone. You know, so like, you know, I'm still gonna make content. I'm still gonna do what I do. I'm gonna get a laptop after Christmas because I gotta take care of, make sure my kids have a good Christmas and stuff. You know, I mean, because it ain't about me and my hobby or the community or anything that.
I absolutely understand.
The reason I do this shit, you know, and I'm saying legitimately, is because I care about the future for them. You know, I mean, that's like why I give a fuck about any of this shit, is because I don't want them. Like, if there's gonna be a problem, let it be in my time. Let me fix it before they, you know, what I mean, have to deal with it later. That's half the shit I'm bitching about. Like, legit, like these cocksuckers trying to impeach the fucking president, bringing up the fucking forefathers' goddamn fucking names and all their fucking words and shit, and standing here quoting them, and I'm standing here like, you motherfuckers home. Like, yo, for fuck's sake. Like, yo, the Jefferson stood up in the Continental Congress and said, fucking, like, yo, Every generation needs to pay its toll as it fucking goes, and it shouldn't indebt its fucking future generations for their bullshit. And you fucking cocksuckers, break that fucking shit every time you open your fucking mouths, you worthless pieces of shit. Aaron Burr would have shot you in the fuck you. Like, yo, eat the dick. I hope you all die a horrible, cancerous death in Minecraft, allegedly.
Yeah, well, you're like, it's like, do you even know that the founding fathers would have taken every single one of you motherfuckers out back and shot you in the head? Like, it would have, like, these are the people you're invoking, and they would have fucking used you for everything you stand for.
Yo, you would have been seen as the most tyrannical, horrible human beings who have ever lived. You just approved a $685 billion fucking defense appropriations bill that completely steps over every line that the founding fathers would have fucking fought for. You worthless fucks.
Omnibus. An omnibus spending bill. Omnibus. But anyway, Jesus Christ, man. I didn't know you still had 25 motherfuckers willing to watch you.
Oh, dude, I totally still got an audience. What are you talking about? We're still getting 200 and some views a fucking video. Like, yo, these niggas on Twitter talking about Tom P's got a dead channel. Get fucked. Like, yo, every time we hit the go live button, nigga, 30 to 40 motherfuckers show up. Get the fuck out of here. Like, yo, I'm so tired. This is why, like, I get tired of this community. I really do. Like, yo, motherfuckers, like, yeah, they're like, oh, I fucking hate these guys. Like, go out here and speak against them, you dumb fuck. Instead of doxing and fucking putting people's faces. Fuck you.
You know
for
what?
Fuck's sake. Get out here and make content.
You know what? I got a good idea. We're expecting some other people to join us tonight to talk about impeachment, and we're gonna sit here and bullshit about the same kind of shit we always bullshit about until that happens. If the chat can get 100 people in here, 100 people, I will do a giveaway for a $100 gift card to Amazon.
Yo, I want to join this gift card joint. Oh, that's what I'm saying. I want to join the chat. Can I join the chat? The motherfucker do part of the $100 giveaway.
Sure, dude. You just gotta get it to 100. Make it look at least
chat,
somewhat
throw this
legit.
bitch the fuck out of here. Chat, get this, yo, show this motherfucking stream. Everybody get out there and show it everywhere you fuck got. Put it on Facebook. Yo, like, go outside your house and spray paint it on the motherfucking sidewalk and shit. You know what I mean? Like, yo, whatever you gotta do, go spray paint it on an underpass real quick. Just don't leave. Leave your fucking screen up. You know what I mean? Then go do. Like, yo, but let's get 100 motherfuckers in here and shit. You gotta buy me out. Buy me shit too, because you use me to cheat and mix up. Nigga, like, your gaming's here. By the way, man, we ain't even said hi to the chat. Let me say what up to everybody that came out here tonight. You know what I mean? Supporting the joint. Adam Harts, Dark Star Mo, Radical Rick, Memes of Destruction. What up, my nigga? Golf City, Nicholas Donker, good to see you out here. DV, yo, man, as always, Michael Hatfield, my brother, how you doing? Fat Andy, yo, always love seeing you out this motherfucker, man. GC, Special Umbreon, how you doing? Psycho Fire, man, I'm seeing you out in the motherfucking joint. I seen in the comment section today, buddy. Yo, love you, my brother. BLT, Johnny P, the Gulf City, the Lethal Spur, my nigga, the superstar. How the f you goddamn doing? Prime Mover, welcome, my brother, welcome. DB Cooper, it's always nice to see Ryan himself, man. But yo, from the Insomnia stream, y'all niggas ain't watching that. You ain't watching shit. They're over there getting it done every week, 3 days a fucking week. Dingleberry Pie, what up, man? How the fuck you doing and shit? Jonathan Doe, man, as always, it's nice to see you out here, my brother. Serpent Venom, yo, love you, you know what I'm saying? Thank you for coming the fuck out and shit. Anybody I'm missing yet?
That's
right. Looking. Mad Dodge, my brother, welcome, man, welcome.
Holy shit! I know you're
What
just in the chat, man, but we gotta stop, dude. 'Cause we got an Uncle Tomahawk, like one that we've basically never seen before, man.
Yeah, I got you. Hang on, yo.
It's been a long time.
Hold on, let me finish. I got two more. I got two more.
All right.
Like Gaming and Yelling, and motherfucking Ricky Dawson's here, man. Fucking thank you both for coming out. It's appreciated. And yo, the Insomnius dude's in the chat. Click his link. You know what I'm saying, motherfucking, like, yo, it's appreciated. You'll be streaming a lot over the next week. Stop by. Yo, Victor, nigga, put this shit in the goddamn general. You know what I'm saying? And like, send me a link to wherever the hell you're gonna be streaming from, and I will show the fuck up. You know I love you. You know what I'm saying? So who done motherfucking donated $50 to us, my
Man, Dingleberry Pie, no, dude, he's been here for a long time, dude. But he donated $50 to say Merry Christmas, you filthy animals.
Yo, thank you, Dingleberry. It is appreciated, my brother, as always. Yo, we love you, and we love you being out here for us. And I'm saying we're really grateful for you showing up, you know what I mean, and giving us some love on Christmas, you know what I mean, helping us get by and shit, you know what I mean. Believe me, like, yo, that's gonna go towards a good cause. There's gonna be a little child who motherfucking gets a toy bought for him is gonna thoroughly enjoy it, you know what I mean. I promise. And yo, everything's gonna be everything, my brother. It is what it is. Like, yo, so anyway, right? Fucking, like, yo, so anyway, where were we at? Fucking, we were talking about the goddamn. Yeah, I got done addressing the chat. I'm done with that shit.
Did you get the
Insomnus? We're good. I did get the Insomnus. He's in the fucking chat. Yo, click on his link. Go sub to his channel. You know what I mean? That motherfuckers are out there getting it done. Click on Gaming's link, too. Like, yo, I'm over there usually, like, I'm over there, like, Monday through Friday bullshit. You know what I mean? Fucking hanging out when I'm going down the road. And I do lots of crazy things over there. Aura, you know what I mean? We get it done. Like, yo, lots of shit over there going on that y'all motherfuckers don't know about. I was named Furry Jesus. Apparently, I'm the savior of the furries. I'm not even a furry. I don't know how the fuck that happened. I'm not a MGTOW. I'm the fucking savior of MGTOWs as well. I don't know how the fuck any of this shit ever happens, but somehow I get lumped into these fucking goddamn causes that aren't mine. But anyway, yo, so we were talking about impeachment. Right, and these assholes fucking wanting to impeach our goddamn president and shit.
Yeah, it's hard to even know where to start. It's the most hilarious spectacle ever. It's one of those things where the Republicans. So I was watching I wish Frank and Wes were here, but I was watching their stream yesterday where they actually.
I was on it.
Yeah, I know. I saw you on it. I was typing, and I was like, I'm at work, so I can't join in. And by the time it was over, I was off work. But I was just like, if you were watching and listening to that entire thing, kudos to you for not gouging your eye out and driving screwdrivers through your eardrums. It was just so painful. Even the Republicans were painful to listen to. It was all the same scripted talking points that we heard before, except in this case, the Democrats had to be sure they have uncontested, irrefutable evidence that Donald Trump did X, Y, it's completely fucking nonsense. I mean, I have it queued up. I can go through the actual articles of impeachment. I don't think anybody here listening needs to go through line by line right now to understand that the Democrats have literally put forth the thinnest possible argument for impeaching a president ever to hit DC's floor as an impeachment proceeding.
Yeah, look, I was watching that yesterday, all right, on Frank's channel. I was sitting there listening, and I had this overwhelming urge to go lay in, all right? Like, it just hit me like a bag of bricks. Like, I would just...
Well, yeah, you saw me... Yeah, you saw me typing, and this is going to go back to... I know where you're going to go. This is the reason I'm interrupting you. You saw me typing is almost anytime somebody in DC invokes the Constitution, you know that they're lying in order to try to get something they want.
Yo, they completely don't give a fuck about the Constitution. Yeah. They don't care at all. They give absolutely no fucks about the goddamn Constitution.
Like we can rewind a little bit to when they had their constitutional law professors. Now, the Republicans made a very smart choice because they were able to call one witness while the majority had 3. But they decided to get somebody that was a Democrat to testify as to why it was nonsense for the impeachment. And that Turley dude made good arguments. Those other 3 people are your typical constitutional law professors. Their job is not actually to understand what the founders meant whenever they wrote the Constitution. Their job is to make a very persuasive argument using legalese to do something that they know is probably unconstitutional based on what the law meant at the time, and make it constitutional. Right? This is the FDR court type people. So all 3 of the Democratic witnesses or experts on the Constitution, the fact that they are constitutional law scholars, it doesn't mean anything, because most of constitutional law is being able to provide arguments to the political party in power that lets them make a constitutional justification for the unconstitutional shit that they want to do.
Well, like, so here's the thing, though. Like, the individual, one of the fucking goddamn witnesses who was a constitutional law scholar, right? He's a dude who's on CNN on a regular basis. He legitimately said this is complete bullshit. He came out and, like, he sat there and testified that this is utter and complete nonsense, and there is no reason why we should be doing this. He said,
that was Turley. Yeah, that was Turley. That's what I said. He's a Democrat.
Yeah.
He said the same. He said the same thing in the Clinton trials, but with the Clinton trials, he was like, "Look, it's pretty obvious that Clinton perjured himself over some stuff, but we just don't think it's very substantial." It's just not. It's not that big of a deal. It's like it's not really a high crime or misdemeanor. At that point, you just let the American people decide whether or not you're going to reelect him or not.
No. And, like, legitimately, like, they're on the level now, on right now at this point, where legally Donald Trump can run for a third fucking term. Like, real shit.
Yeah,
they're literally, they're actually at this level because they have fucked up his first term the whole time. Like, it's not like they've stood here and, like, opposed him on any of his fucking platforms. They've literally had him under investigation for his whole first term. Right? And, like, so they're at the point where now legally he can run for a third fucking term.
Yeah, so
because he was robbed of his first one.
Yeah, that reminds me of another thing, and I'm happy to answer Michael Hatfield's question. But one thing that is undeniable is that even though every Republican said this, the Democrats, they've had a hard-on for impeachment since day one. Day one. Like, it was all about the whole Russian thing, which just recently, the IG came out and basically confirmed all of Sean Hannity, out of all motherfuckers in the world, reporting. Sean Hannity was 100% right because almost everything in that IG report confirmed what Sean Hannity said about why the entire investigation was bogus and why they should have never had any FISA applications at all.
Yeah, hang on. First off, I want to say, what up, freedom? Secondly, what up, Bill Roberg? A person can be elected twice. No. All right. Here's the issue. The problem is that in the wording of that article, legit, like, if you're robbed of your fucking term, like by undue process or some shit like that, you end up like fucking being able to be eligible for a third fucking term. Like, it's like somebody stood here, like, this is actually like a legal fucking thing that we could argue if we really wanted to bring him in for a third fucking term. Legit. You know what I mean? Like, this is some real shit. I don't think it's gonna happen. I mean, but though it can, but legally this can happen just because, you know what I mean? Fucking,
yeah, no, it's not gonna happen. They're
yeah, like I've seen legal. I've seen there's actual legal. There's legal shit. This isn't me talking out the side of my neck.
Donald Trump's gonna be 78 after he gets reelected and leaves office. Is he really gonna want to be a president until he's 82? No, I think he's gonna back down and
yeah,
if everything's like going pretty good like right now, which I know. This is another conversation that we could do for another stream, but I think Trump's standing on a phony economy. But it's not going to matter to Trump. Like, if he leaves office and he's like, everything was pretty good and the unemployment rate was pretty low, I won. Right? Trump's going to feel good about himself.
Well, like, first off, I want to say Pnoid Radiator 2024. All right. Tom Pease, and we're going to run me and a radiator from your house, and we're just going to have that radiator with a handcuff and a chain on it. Right. And, that's going to be the platform for 2024. That's what we're doing right now.
And if the Democrats try to pull this shit against you, they're going to be the ones tied to that radiator.
The radiator's gonna jump up and smack him. Like, the radiator's gonna keep his pants on.
The cuffs are just there to show. Nobody's gonna be like actually handcuffed. The radiator itself is just gonna do the ass whooping.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a veiled threat, I mean, and that way I don't have to choose a running mate. I'm coming with a running mate to begin. Like, I'm just gonna walk out on stage with like the radiator with a chain on it on a dolly. You know what I mean? Just bring it out with me and set it right in front of everybody. Like,
all right, man. Well, if that's the case, I demand that I be your Secretary of the Interior, only because I don't think the Secretary of the Interior does anything at all. Like, I won't have to work. I'll just get a paycheck from the government.
Yeah, I think the Secretary of Interior is in charge of like things in the interior of the nation. Like, you're gonna have to like do like a whole lot of logistics work, like for setting up roads and bridges and shit. I think that's what you do if you're Secretary of the Interior. I think
all that shit works just fine right now. I don't have to do anything.
Yo, nah, man, like that's gonna be a big job. We got to get rid of like all these like fucking no bid contracts and shit, and dealing with these shitheads who think that they can have road construction projects that they retire off of.
All right, like, Tom, in my neck of the woods, fine, I agree. Appoint me secretary of something that doesn't have to do anything and just give me a big paycheck. That's all I care about.
Well, yeah, of course. Like, yo, you're gonna be like, you can be fucking secretary of the press. But you're not gonna be like the person who's out there talking to motherfuckers.
I should be. They're gonna ask me questions as so why should the American electorate vote for Tom Pnoid in the next election? And I'm gonna reply back and say because fuck you.
Yeah, you just get drunk and like tell everybody to fuck off all day. That's what you're doing. Right, and
that's actually my pro-Trump slogan this year. I mean, I didn't vote for Trump last election. I voted for Gary Johnson. Game on me, I guess. It didn't really matter.
Yes, shame on you.
Yeah, my slogan for supporting Trump this election is Trump 2020 because fuck you. That's
it. If you're going to go down that route, I would use something more along the lines of Team America. Fuck yeah.
It's pretty close. But no, it's still just fuck you, right?
Well, I
don't like everything Trump's doing, but yeah, well, the left is being aggressive enough. So rather than try to explain to them the argument and have them peddle their social justice bullshit, I'm just gonna tell them straight up the reason is fuck you guys. Fuck your ideology. Fuck what you believe in. I would rather see you guys fucking pissed off, whining, trying to impeach the motherfucker for another 4 years than vote for a Democrat right now.
Do you think that will de-escalate things?
No. But I don't think I mean, there's no solution for that right now.
Do you think we need de-escalation or do you think we need escalation? Because I think we need escalation
and acceleration. Yeah, my name's
see what you did there.
My name's Accelerate for a reason.
I thought you were a spreadsheet.
Ooh.
Well, he is. He's both a spreadsheet and a term for what we're gonna do to this goddamn country.
It turns out the numbers on the spreadsheet just say we may as well get this over with.
That's unfortunately what I seem to be hearing from more and more folks. That is highly concerning. I mean, I would say there's certain things, maybe certain areas you may want to do that in, but the country as a whole, it's people are pissed.
Well, like what I'm saying is that like it's time that the United States of America became a little less united and more state. That's my mentality right now. I think I think that's where we should really be. That's what we should be thinking about is let's all be independent states again. And then if we want to hook back up later on, you know what I mean?
I said that forever. I was like, I think we could actually win over the hearts and minds of some liberal states by pushing federalism and explaining why, look, you have to have the federal government stop spending so much money on this shit so that they don't have to tax so much so that your state can tax and have the government you dream of.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like if you want California, like it should just be California. It shouldn't be Commie America, right? Like I'm tired of being ran by the fucking coastal cities, and then the rest of us all just get right? Like, the hell with that mentality. Let's all just become a little less united, right? More states. And then, like, we'll treat it like a breakup. We talk to a bitch like, hey, look, I'll tell you what. You know what I mean? In a few months or whatever, or years, whatever the case might be, if we feel as though we want to get back together and, you know what I mean? If we can keep fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like, we can keep having, you know what I mean? I'll still pay your phone bill from time to time or something. But other than that, you know what I'm saying, let's keep it 100. Like, let's go see some other people. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not interested in dealing with this anymore.
So sadly, all you're advocating for is exactly what the founding fathers were thinking whenever they designed the whole system of the republic.
I know.
Yeah,
I realize.
This is where we go back to why we both like Ron Paul. It's like, yeah, we just both kind of want to go back to the Constitution. Some states will ban abortion, some states won't, and we're fine with that.
Yeah,
So
whatever. Do whatever
the
fuck you want.
question is almond joys got nuts, mounds don't.
Yep.
That I don't think that's the greatest thing. And Tava, I was about to say your earlier statement about just kind of going separate ways. I was going to say if Mad Dodge was still in the chat, which I don't think he is. You made his pants as you were talking about this session.
Yo, look, dude. Me and Mad Dodge agree on a lot of shit. We agree on way more shit than we disagree on. All right. The things that we disagree on is, you know, the fact that he's a Southerner. All right.
Yeah.
But like the things that we, things that we agree on is like, you know, like the basic way we should be running this fucking country. Like, I'm a paleocon. Like that's literally what I am. Like I've come down to like try to whittle down my views to figure out what the fuck I am. I'm a paleo conservative. That's where I'm at. All right.
Well, yeah.
I believe in absolute minarchism as far as the goddamn government's concerned. You know what I mean? Leave me the fuck alone, lower my goddamn taxes, you know what I mean? And then, you know, let's fucking bring religion back into the fucking fold a little bit and let people choose their own way of how the fuck to act rather than forcing them with the barrel of a gun and the fucking shit ton of camera. That's my mentality.
Yeah, there's a deeper statement to be said there, which is something that we've talked about, Tom. Which is it's more about like we can't even have these conversations about these like what was it, porn? The porn argument came up. Like there's a billion things that are more wrong and fucking people over way more than pornography could ever be for me to get like jump on the porn bandwagon. Right?
Yeah,
like if you ban porn right now, I don't care what side of the argument you are on. It's not going to help the direction of the country in any way whatsoever.
Yeah, you're just gonna piss,
we're not there to have that
Mm-hmm.
conversation. Like it's the same thing with you talk about Federal Reserve interest rates and borrowing shit. Like that kind of stuff bores your average American, and we're sitting here deciding whether or not Donald Trump should be impeached for having a conversation with the Ukraine about some shit that went on with the Bidens.
Yo, while they're putting $500 billion into the goddamn overnight markets.
Yeah, and some crazy fucking omnibus spending package that even within there, like even Trump supporters should be mad that there's like some random shit in there. It's the story I heard is the most random thing is it grants a path to citizenship for like tens of thousands of Liberians. Just randomly in there.
Tom, did you say 500 million or 500 billion?
Billion.
So essentially half of what Glenn Beck highlighted like a decade ago when the Fed pumped like $1 trillion just into the system. It's like everyone's like la 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 la. It's like
13. It was 13. It was 13. Dude.
No, but in one day. In 24 hours, they did 1 trillion.
Yeah. That was during fucking the financial collapse and shit.
But that's the thing, and that's the core, and that's something as somebody that's more of a liberal Democrat that believes in progress, I tend to agree with you guys on. It's just the debt of the country. It's just where like 23, 24, you almost can't even keep track of it anymore. Trillion freaking dollars. The amount of interest that we are servicing on that debt, if you look at it, it just keeps on growing up. And it's like, it doesn't matter if it's Democrat or Republican, because it seems for like the past like 20, 30 years or so, it's just, okay, we had like a balanced budget at one point. That's great. We can start to reduce the debt, but it's just ballooning. If we can get that down, then we can actually leverage things for emergencies. So we can have these United States of America, each state kind of doing what it wants to do. You make sure you have the basic protections in there for everybody. And if there's an emergency, then you can use the credit card of America. Because right now I don't know, that's getting really high up there, man. It's scary.
Yeah,
Like,
now
yeah,
I mean we're on track to just be using the credit card forever to pay for our Social Security payments.
Like, yo, here's the bitch. Like, here's the one that scares the fuck out of me. This is the one that, like, legitimately, in my brain, like, yo, we haven't even been talking about it, like, anywhere. We really should, because, like, it's coming up really soon. By, like, 2025, 2026, Social Security and Medicare are going to be 100% of the U.S. budget. 100%. Right? So, like, yo, we no longer will have any money to be able to pay for, I don't know, bridges or roads or, like, you know what I mean, fucking police. And I think these things are kind of important, you know what I mean? Let alone a military, which is the basic nature and reason for government in the first place. Like, and we're not talking about any of this shit. We're not talking about a single part of it at all, right? Because, like, all we can talk about is, like, fucking, like, the most retarded nonsense in the world. Like, we're involved in, like, what, 15 fucking conflicts across the goddamn planet? We've spent more money in Afghanistan than we spent on the Marshall Plan rebuilding Europe after World War II. Someone explain that to me.
Let me ask you
there's
this.
no good explanation.
Well, here's the thing. You'd think that typically on many issues, you'll have one side make a really big deal out of things. Do we hear either side really bringing this up?
No, because, like, yo, both sides completely understand and fully comprehend the fact that they have to have this fucking system in place. Like, this Federal Reserve fucking fiat money, world reserve currency, petrodollar bullshit has to be in place in order for any of this to continue. The moment it ends, the moment we stop fucking defending it, is the moment the whole country collapses. So what do you do? It's a catch-22.
Well, that's the thing, and that's the thing. And actually, this even goes global, man. I think we talked about this a little bit, maybe off air, was just if you look at the entire world and, like, who's indebted to who, you look at everybody, and it's like everybody owes everybody everything. It's so intertwined up, and that's why it's like I almost think like pretty much the exact same thing you are. It's like, okay, could you address this? I suppose there's a way, but if you make it a huge deal and it does kind of get broken, yeah, you're going to have like world economies potentially shattering. I think that's a lot of the whole Brexit thing and why the EU kind of wants to keep them in there. Because if all of a sudden they're like 40 billion pounds sterling less a year in revenue and they start to collapse, and then other companies that owe money to like this, that, and the other thing start to collapsing, and people just start defaulting on everybody, that could be like another like global economic collapse, maybe even worse.
Yeah, but like as Ron Paul said,
That's
as
just
Peter
a bubble.
Schiff
It's
said,
just a bubble popping.
No. As Ron Paul and Peter Schiff both said, man, sometimes you have to take your. It is what it is. Like, if you don't, like, at some point as a people, as a nation, you have to take your medicine. And I would much rather that happen now, right? Like, well, my kids are little, so, like, I don't have to fucking, like, worry about them as full-grown adults trying to struggle and strive to get by, right? I would much rather that happen right now than happen 20 years from now or 5 or 10 years from now when some of them are grown and they're out on their own and they got to go through this at, you know what I mean, fucking adults and shit. I'd much rather the trials and tribulation be on my shoulders than be on somebody the fuck else's. Like, let's do this now. If we're gonna do it, let's do it now.
Well, yeah, no, I mean, what you're saying is the same thing when I said it's the bubble popping, because that's, I mean, it's almost the same thing. Like, we're surviving off of heroin. We keep going, we're just gonna die.
Yeah,
right. And when we stop, it's gonna suck.
Well,
there is no combating it. There's no fixing this.
You can at least lessen it. And again,
I'm not. You can't.
it wasn't this why China's been buying up gold and a lot of precious metals over the years. They've just been slowly just stocking up and just reserving their stockpiles just in case if your currency crashes. At least if you have something to back even part of it up, that's going to help.
They're a net exporter. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, they're selling to the rest of the world while we're buying. Like, yo, everybody in the nation is living off of fucking credit right now. That's everybody in our nation is literally like, yo, everything we do is we are all living and borrowing.
Yeah, most people don't understand that when the national debt is $20 trillion, that means that the 90 million people in America are 330. Yeah, or 330. Yeah, they're $20 million in debt, right? So if you divide them amongst the populace, that's how much in debt they are.
Well,
and when you have
that's greater than GDP now.
Yeah. So, like, the only thing you can do to remedy that is pay it back or monetize it. And if you monetize it, you're going to get inflation, which is going to lower the value of the dollar. So you're going to pay for it no matter what.
Well, like, yo, I don't even, like, the problem with the inflation mentality is, like, you're going to get inflation overseas with the rest of the countries. Like, that's the real bitch. It's, how do I put this? Like, you're going to get inflation, and I don't even know what would happen. Because we pumped $13 trillion into the fucking system, and nothing happened. Like, yo, I don't know exactly what would happen if we pumped another $23 trillion.
Yeah, you've actually said, like, a lot of the reason is that the banks didn't actually dump all the money yet. They're sitting in reserves.
Yeah. Well, because, like, fucking, because of the new fucking, what was it, shit, I forget his goddamn name. What the hell's fucking the guy's name from New York? Dodd-Frank, because of Dodd-Frank and shit. They're forced to have a massive amount of reserves inside of the fucking system. That way they aren't being as over-leveraged as they were before. But not only that, fucking here's the other half of this. Like, and I brought this up on, I don't know if it was this channel. I think I did bring it up I covered it on my channel. And I think I was here with Uwe when I did it. I don't know if I was with but like fucking, I sat here and I talked about how fucking the banks are actually, I might have been with Excel. The banks are actually sitting here letting people stay in these fucking homes so they don't hit the mark, so that the prices of homes don't drop, right? So that the system can keep fucking playing this Ponzi game.
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah, you were here. All right, yeah. I might have been running it. I don't fucking know. Like, I don't know what the fuck
the market is overinflated, in my opinion. I had done some real estate, not overly successfully, really before, but all I know is I'm looking at these prices. I'm like, wait, it's this much for what?
Yeah. Like, everything is at fucking peak inflation. Like, me personally, like, I have an answer to all this, and that would, like, I have a way for us not to get hurt. So my answer is, number one, we close down all the borders tomorrow. Like, just close them. Nobody comes to fuck back in this bitch. No students, no fucking lawyers, no engineers, no doctors, nothing. Nobody comes to fuck in this goddamn country. We bring our fucking troops to fuck home. We put them on the goddamn border of Mexico. Anything that fucking moves, brown and down, nigga. All right, it gets the fuck drop. Then we put up people's heads on a goddamn spike. Then we fucking stand here and, like, we take everybody on a visa, we round them the fuck up, or everybody who's illegal, we round them the fuck up, send them the fuck up out of here. And immediately, what that's going to do, like, that moment, what that shit's going to do is it's going to fucking drop the prices of motherfucking housing. It's going to fucking raise your goddamn pay. And it's going to stand here and cause fucking the price of goods to go nationwide. So you'll end up having a better situation for Americans to be in as this collapse begins to happen. Right? And we stand here and we start shutting down these fucking programs little by little, and we get the fucking debt paid the hell off. And this is how the hell you solve it. Yeah. Oh, what up, Wes?
Happy to be here.
What up, dude? Now,
Hey.
Tom, my big thing on that, sorry to cut you off, man, it's just, that might work for maybe a Walking Dead scenario, but it's like, we do also trade with Mexico and Canada. And you kind of still have to have some. You're basically
I'm not
everything up tight.
Yeah, I'm saying no more immigrants coming in, period. You're not handing out visas for motherfuckers to come here to. You're not handing out visas for schools. You're not handing out visas for anything. Nobody comes in anymore. And if you're here on a visa, you're getting thrown out. And on top of that, we're trebucheting up the top of the Canadian border in case Trudeau tries to fucking come in.
She's gonna throw old like high school VHS tapes at him from like High School Musical or something.
Well, I'd much rather use the magnetic tape inside, to be honest with you, to deal with the cocksucker than fucking like maybe we can make nunchucks out of it. You know what I mean? We get a guy like Michelangelo to fuck that nigga up. You know what I mean?
So Pnoid News does not advocate for the potential assassination of international leaders via VHS tape.
No. I don't think you should kill him with a VHS tape in Minecraft, allegedly.
Going to hell.
To be here. Fucking dumb bitch. You know, they fought so hard for this. And just like a woman, she's like, "Well, we don't want this anymore." It's just so retarded. I've already seen like some people already celebrating, like, "Oh, he's removed. No, he's not. Take a civics class." And you know,
Joe, look, here's the thing. Like, Wes, you can't be mad at them. All right, you know why you can't be mad at them? Because we don't know this either. All right, like the vast majority of Americans are retarded. I don't.
A word that confuses people. What is impeachment?
impeachment
Nobody
is
has
not
any
impairment.
idea what it is. No,
Impeachment
you know
is
what
not
it is?
impairment.
It's no. You know what it is? Real shit. You know what it is? They're using the wrong words. All right. You know what this should be? Indictment. That's what this should be called. All right. This should not be called impeachment. This should be called indictment. All right. Because like that's literally what the fuck this is. This is Donald Trump got indicted by the Congress. He did not get impeached. He got indicted. It's a whole fucking different thing. And if you've ever been through the court system, this was the preliminary hearing. And I don't know why you would have a jury at a prelim, but a lot of times you have a grand jury to hand out indictments and shit. You know what I mean? To choose whether or not charges.
Oh, that's a good analogy.
Preliminary. It's a preliminary hearing. Again, preliminary hearing. That's what this is.
It's not direct, but it gets people an idea rather than just saying, "Oh, the president's
This is. Have you ever been to a preliminary hearing? Do you know what a preliminary hearing is?
This is similar to the legal process that the rest of us commoners have to go through. But being that this is the president of the United States, is the highest levels of our government, they have to operate by a slightly different means, which is impeachment. Now, the Democrats didn't operate by any traditional rules at that level. They can kind of create new rules, but they created the dumbest rules possible to favor themselves. And more Americans are waking up to this. And when I pretty much watched the entire impeachment BS unfold yesterday, and Schiff was up there just blatantly lying, making stuff up on the spot. But Americans, I would hope that more Americans are waking up to how much he lies.
I was at work and chiming in occasionally, but every time I got in there and actually was listening to it, everything, even from the Republicans, for the most part, it sounded incredibly scripted. And I'm just like, how can you watch 10 hours of this without gouging out your eyes and shoving a screwdriver down your ears? Because in a lot of that time, you guys were just silent. And I think it's because you had no commentary, because you already commentated on somebody saying exactly the same thing as the next person.
Pretty much 90%.
I was sitting there when I was listening to that, and like me and my shotgun were having a moment, right? Where I was just debating on just suck starting that motherfucker. Like there was like some of that like weird Dutch music in the background, right? And I'm, maybe I should take my own life at this point. You know what I mean? Like, because like these these people, like, they legitimately want me to do so. I'm pretty sure because they keep saying these things, and I know what they mean, and they know what they mean, and they're just flat lying, and they're telling people that they're not lying, and they have more power than me, and their words carry more weight than I do, and it's not fair, right?
Yeah.
Because like I should be carrying more weight than them. You know what I'm saying?
Well, they're representing you.
Pnoid for Congress 2020.
No,
Do
I don't
it,
want to
right
run
now.
for
Do it. You have to.
Yeah, do it. Just do it.
Greatness
I
is
can't
calling you.
want.
Pnoid, you cannot spend your entire life, being a couch potato, sitting in the seats and complaining about it, but never playing. Come on, man, get in there. The coach is calling you.
We
I
can
don't-
rally the furries.
I don't. See, I told you. I'm the
You
savior of the
know,
first.
you
Right?
know how easy it would be if Tom ran for Congress for people to go to his YouTube channel and just find the worst rancid shit he's ever said and make sure that nobody would ever vote for him.
You have to
Yeah.
own it. You have to lean into the cringe so much. It's like
Oh,
going
yeah, I
down
said
to
that
a
shit.
damn-
It's true.
I'm not saying. I am not saying I can't do it. I'm telling you, by the end of it, I would literally
saying
be
you're too
on
afraid to do
trial.
it.
I would be on trial for my life. Like, yo,
Man,
you do not know the fucking evil shit that I have done. All right, legit. You're like, y'all are normal people. I was an actual criminal. All right, like I was a real criminal, and like there are things I can still be charged with
Oh
today.
my god, that's
if
gonna
they
give you
would look.
100% of the black vote. You gotta do it.
when you're on stage and someone plays one of your past YouTube channels, just be like, "Yeah, I said that, you dumb bitch. Got anything else?"
Yeah, I said we should chain bitches to radiators. The point being what?
Alright, dude.
All right, I will chain you to a radiator right now.
I can
I
see
think your
some-
husband will have a hard time with you.
I can see some MSNBC reporter asking you, Tom, what do you mean by repeal the 19th? Mike from
I mean,
Tom.
we should take away women's voting rights, you dumb cunt. Why are you not making me a sandwich? Just like, yo. Welcome.
You're making it more and more difficult.
Here's the worst thing. Is that, like, yes, if you said that you would never get elected. However, if you said what Peter Schiff said about what happened after we gave women the right to vote, you might even convince some women.
Yo, look, I can convince women that they shouldn't have the right to vote.
Yeah,
all
no,
right?
I was there. I watched it. That was actually on Frank's stream. I was actually
That was
incredibly
beautiful.
surprised that, what's her name? The unapologetic Muslim.
Yeah.
She was like, I'm sorry, but a lot of this had to do with giving women rights to vote. And you were just like, thank you.
I walked her up to the trough and let her drink. I said, "Here's the water, bitch. I know you're thirsty."
Lyra has a mind of her own. She has no problem speaking her own mind, speaking her own opinions, and
I know,
you can tell
dude,
she puts a lot of thought into it.
I've been talking about trying to get her to come on and like stream with me and Tom Pnoid, because I was like, this is like a no filter, no holds barred. Like, even Wes, what you said, you probably like one of the sentences you said in this stream, I'm not gonna repeat, but you wouldn't have said it on your own stream because you want your channel to be successful. Me and Tom Pnoid, we've already been fucked by YouTube, so we don't give a shit. We'll just say whatever we want.
There's a difference. Like when I'm streaming with Frank, I respect his domain.
Well, no, and when you do your own channel, you're also trying to be respectable and stuff. This channel has always been like half politics
Free speech.
and half bullshit. And yeah, free speech.
There's a lot of monkey turns flung around.
Oh, you're fucking right, goddammit. Like, look here, all right. Here's the thing about my channel, all right? Legitimately, we already caught 10 strikes in like fucking. We caught 5 strikes over the summer.
For videos that are 2 years old.
I just started following a mariachi band, and I thought of you.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
why are you following them around? Nigga, like,
No,
what are you hungry? You gotta go like every Chili's in the area.
They do game reviews. Hold on, I'll get the link.
No, I don't want the fucking link, dude. All right, people are dangerous to me. They keep striking my channel. They've done it twice so far. But
I know
anyway,
those
right
one of the
here.
reasons I subscribe.
Yeah, shut up. Yeah, you're such a little bitch. Like, damn it, stop fucking supporting the people who fucked me over. Right, yo. So, what the hell? Where was I going? I was saying some shit about something. You fucking derailed my train of thought, motherfucker. God damn it.
I was going to say, I was going to try to save you because we must not forget that Ben Carson, upon confessing that he tried to kill one of his friends when he was younger, went up in the polls.
Oh, I wanted to say, yeah, he tried. All right, he tried. See, that's the difference between me and him. Okay, now,
Tom, please succeeded.
yeah, I mean the guy's dead now. You know what I'm saying? You know, but still, that's not the fucking point. All right, like we'll move past that point at the moment. Now, so look, what I'm trying to say is this. By the way, yo, did you know Excel TFM done lost his PayPal?
Yeah, I did. I saw that on Twitter.
And by the way, Mr. Obvious also lost his PayPal.
But Mr. Obvious, he's not even that big of a deal.
Yeah, look, here's the deal with PayPal. Remember I did that video about PayPal?
Yeah, they told you that it wouldn't happen to you. Right?
No. They said if you fuck up on another platform, right, then we will take away your shit here. So if you catch strikes on YouTube, they can take away your PayPal.
That was PayPal that called you?
I called them.
Yeah, I have that video still on my channel, I think, because you were banned at the time.
I have the video on my channel too.
I'm actually gonna look for it.
I have it. I put it up. I put it up in my fucking on Twitter and on Discord, and I sent it to TFM as well. Like, yo, fucking, like, yeah, legit. And I put it in fucking Mr. Obvious's joint. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, dude, fucking legit. They stood there and they said that, like, fucking, if you sit here and you get a violation on like YouTube or whatever.
No, I'm sorry. This was you calling. I have the one where you called YouTube about your strikes.
Oh, that was YouTube. That's a different one. The one I called PayPal's on my channel. Right? Like, I had the link for that too. That's fucking. Hang on a minute. I'll grab that real quick. I can grab that and send it to you. But yeah, fucking like, yeah, because they said legit. They're like, look, if you stand here and violate on somebody else's platform, right, they will fucking take away your fucking PayPal.
So they're going to retroactively apply whatever terms are applied, and if the other one, bless you, goes after you, bless you, they basically ban.
Thank you. Yep.
All they're doing is opening up for another content or like another payment processor to accept payments from people that are a little bit more edgy.
Couldn't that be a violation of civil rights?
Well, no. Okay, so there are things in law that make it so you could make the argument against them. We've had this conversation between me and Pnoid a lot of times. I think the market will adjust and take care of this so long as the government doesn't actually help impose these regulations, which happens way too often. The thing is that it's not like the market's gonna figure it out tomorrow or yesterday, right? Like, there'll be a critical mass where some other competitors is gonna come in and they're gonna do just fine. But there's too many layers, right? Because you're a platform and you have a website and links to how you can pay people, right? So PayPal cuts you off, right? And then so if PayPal doesn't, if you go to someplace else, you have the other thing where you're still doing this on the credit card system, which is just going to be Visa, MasterCard, or American Express, right? So they can cut you off at that level too. So there's multiple layers to get through, but eventually somebody's going to say, look, apparently 70% of these fucking Californian companies that control 100% of the electronic monetary exchange system don't want to take money from 30% of the people, and we're going to make a shit ton of money off those 30% of the people, and nobody can stop us.
Is TFM in California by chance?
I
It's unknown. It's unknown. No, the only reason I say that is because I've been bringing this up for a while, and I think we will see an argument at some point, just because I think we're trending that way. Is California is one of 2 states in D.C. that does protect political affiliation and activities within the scope and course of employment. Now, the scope and course of employment, California, at least with these recent things with the writers and stuff, they're trying to get like contract folks to kind of like turn into employees. And if they keep on trending with certain legislation, their legislation, like if they end up basically if somebody gets booted for because of reasons that I disagree with either their particular ideology or whatnot, they could be in major trouble.
Well, yeah, but here's the problem, right? The legitimate problem is that none of this is covered. Right? Like this is not even like. All right, Here's the problem, and this is the problem that I've seen with all of this shit completely, is that none of us are paying for any of these services, right? They're all being offered basically, like, yes, you pay transactional fees on paper. Yes, you're forced to watch an ad or pay for YouTube Premium on YouTube, right? But anyway it goes, you're not actually coming out of pocket for this shit. And when you're not coming out of pocket for any of this, there's no contract that you can write. Like, you don't have an agreement because you don't have any fucking leverage in this contract.
There's consideration. It's often monetary based. It can be other things, but the core of what you're saying is, yeah, and I actually tend to agree with on a lot of it. This is why I say we should seize the means of production, because I hear a lot of my comrades say we should seize the means of production. I'm like, dude, we already have the means of production. Freaking, you just look right here on YouTube. This, like, what we're doing right now, we are producing something. We are broadcasting it. That's why I think it's important that we don't go around banning people, because now you're taking away the means of production. Let's see, that's my argument for it.
Well, my argument is this: say, like, if I wanted to make YouTube videos, I had to pay $5 a month to have my channel. Now we have a contract. Now you made an agreement to carry my shit for $5 a fucking. You know what I mean? Like, now we are fucking having a business transaction between us, and you're gonna owe me money the fuck back if, you know what I'm saying, you stand here and go, well, we're gonna fucking throw you and all your content the fuck off of YouTube while I'm conducting business and using your service to do, right? The problem is that they offer it for fucking free to me. And therefore, it's not, we don't have any type of contractual fucking obligation to one another, right? Other than the fact it is their platform and they're allowing me to use it for free. You know what I mean? So therefore, they can make the rules. It's like a difference. It's like a difference between like living in your parents' house, right, and then living in somebody and renting a room from somebody. These are two different things. If you're living in your parents' house, you don't have any fucking right to that house. But if you're renting a room, you have a renter's agreement, you have a lease, and you are renting space from these fucking people. We need to fucking start having to pay for some of the shit that we're goddamn using. And it seems counterintuitive, but I think that would solve a lot of this shit. Is like, because I would pay to fucking have my fucking YouTube channel if they'd leave me the fuck alone. You know what I mean? Like, legit. That's the fucking problem.
Dude, no, that actually makes a lot of sense. I was actually getting ready to propose something a little bit like that, because it's like you said, if these things are being provided to us as a free service, I mean, video hosting, transferring, doing all of this, especially if it's free, like, let's face it, not necessarily every channel is going to be profitable and stuff. I've seen channels where literally people just fall asleep and then they're broadcasting for another few hours and stuff. That costs money. I actually looked into this at one point, and what was it? I think it was like for like $500 a month.
Guilty as charged.
Yeah, dude, exactly.
I've done it.
Exactly. You do like $500 a month. You can literally have a Netflix style website with up to, I think it was 1,800 or 2,000 users, and every person could then transfer and or host 42.3 gigs of like 4K footage or something like that.
All right. So I think things are a little bit more complicated, and we have multiple forces that are in this battle. One is like edgy, funny content. It actually sells. Like, if you actually make the algorithm just put stuff to the top, they're gonna go to the edgy, funny content. People are gonna buy into it. That's what people want to see on YouTube. Like, if they wanted to see the same kind of shit that gets on television, they would just have a cable subscription, right? So there's one thing, but then you have a media apparatus and that are all like, you know, like they're basically all owned by the same cable network, right? So they come out and they just smear the crap out of them, and then advertisers are just like, you know what? We're super scared because we think that your media apparatus has a whole bunch of power, so we don't want to pay you to put ads on this crazy, weird, edgy content, even though everybody knows that we're just trying to serve ads to YouTube, not the individual videos or content creators. And then that happens, and YouTube is like, well, shit, the advertisers are scared, so they have to crack down. Like, I think there's ideology behind it, even at YouTube. But I think what I just explained is, even without the ideology, like, there's monetary reasons that we see this death spiral of YouTube.
Standard business practice.
They used to monetize.
I have an idea for new platform we can develop, one that would work for all of us. We'll call it VoyeurTube.
Oh, isn't that Justin TV?
Yeah. What is that? Do people still talk about Justin TV?
Didn't it become
that was
Twitch
a thing for a while.
Yeah,
they might have gotten bought out by Twitch, but
I think that's what Twitch became, or one of those. Somebody had told me one of the current platforms evolved from Justin TV.
Anyway, Wes, I absolutely guarantee you that if a platform came out and just said, like, they said, we're going to pay you, all our content creators, based on advertisement that we can get. And they set it up just like YouTube, and they had the initial front money to do it. And all the other boys went there. There's going to be some advertisers who are going to be like, you know what? Fuck it. Right? Like, there's a lot of money to be made by going to this platform. I don't think anybody's bold enough to do it, because they'd be fighting against a media establishment, and you know everybody is against them. I think real people they don't really actually give a shit. They don't. Like Tom P's channel, when he went for the 4 days he had advertisement, it was always like for power tools or like lawnmowers and shit. That made sense. Like they knew his content was for men.
Oh, they knew the demographic.
I'm a dude. Like that's what you would advertise to dudes for. I legitimately I bring dude shit everywhere I, right? Like, yo, at any point when I'm on stream, at some point we're gonna talk about we're gonna talk about politics, we're gonna talk about economics, we're gonna be, at some point somebody's gonna bring up banging a bitch in the ass. We're gonna talk about doing drugs and chaining bitches to a radiator. That's gonna be brought up on almost every stream I go to. So,
are you
like,
currently monetized?
No, fuck no.
No,
hell no.
No,
there may be a certain correlation.
he got permanently demonetized.
Wait, you got perma banned from the partner program?
Yeah,
that blows, dude. You got to get people way back
for no reason supplied. No reason.
There was a reason. It's because I did not allow the mainstream media to control the narrative of the fucking Christchurch shooting.
They didn't send it to you in an email.
Well, no, like fucking no. Yeah, it's because of the Christchurch shooting thing, right? It's because because I covered the Christchurch shooting and put the guy's face on the motherfucking TV and shit, right? On my channel. No blood, just him driving in the fucking car. Like, yo, so I stood there.
Some of the footage.
Of him driving. And nothing of him shooting and nothing after him shooting. All before him just driving to the event. Right. And I mean, it was a couple seconds. It was like 30 or 40 seconds or some shit like that. You know what I mean? And I stood there and I was very solemn and very fucking, you know what I mean? Like, sure about what I said and the whole nine. And they legitimately violated my channel. They gave me a fucking strike. They fucking took the fucking video down. And here's the real bitch. They didn't even give me a strike until 2 weeks after that. But they took the video down that day.
That's the thing that gets me. It's like, if you're gonna have rules and stuff, that's fine. I mean, people are willing.
There are no rules.
Well,
there's no rules.
Nothing he did was technically against.
That means
rules.
that you have no rights. You have no rights. You have no rights. And the terms of service. It's an unconscionable contract. You could challenge parts of it per se, but that would also require a lot of money and a very good particular.
As I said, like they should be charging us. That way we have a contract, and then there would be rules. It's that simple. You know what I mean? Like, here are the fucking rules. They're in black and goddamn white. I'm paying you for a fucking service.
See,
I don't want you to pay me. I don't want to be paid off of this.
Yeah. Oh, no. And that's the thing. If you have an investment, you're investing in it like a business. I am paying money for this particular service that I'm hoping to have a profit in the future from. No, absolutely, dude. That's a fucking American dream, brother.
Yeah. And I can make my own money. I can bring in my own advertisers. I can go talk to Phil at the dollhouse and sell dolls on my fucking channel. I have advertisers I can bring the fuck in. I can get sponsorships. That's not hard. I have people who want to sponsor me, but I don't have a computer at the moment. Legit. Like, I can get fucking sponsorships for this fucking channel. I can make it. But the reality is that legit, like, there's no contract with fucking YouTube to let me fucking just have my channel, leave me the fuck alone, and let me make my fucking money on my. I don't need them to do anything other than host my motherfucking videos and let me live stream once or twice.
Well, because YouTube is literally it's the video market. It's the marketplace of video. Like, if you were to trade stocks, you might do a New York Stock Exchange, the Nasdaq, the S&P. I mean, if you're looking for video, yeah, you got a few other choices, but for the access to the vast majority of videos of the internet is YouTube.
Here's the other half of this. Here's the other half of this. Half my videos, people don't even get notified for. You know what I'm saying?
Some
I
of that, I didn't get the last update. If you do 3 things in 24 hours.
That's a site-wide thing.
Yeah, like, the vast majority, because I do 1 video a day now, right, to make sure I don't violate that bullshit. Most of my content does not get delivered. I got 2,100 subscribers. I get on average 200 views a fucking video.
Well, no, like, one of the most telling things is remember how we showed between November of last year through, I think, July.
Yeah.
How you looked at November of last year, your recommendations were like half your view, at least.
Yeah.
And that lasted till about like March, and then it cut down to recommendations being about 10% of you.
Again, they're not delivering my motherfucking content to my subscribers. The people who like my shit enough to fucking click the button, they're not getting notified of my shit.
It's not just your subscribers. It's the people that are watching content that are related to what we're talking about.
Yep.
They won't recommend it, no matter how popular.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I can have a video with like 6, 7, 8.
Nothing changed in even your average video view. Except for the ones that occasionally went viral. But the ones that, when I say viral, I just mean like they popped off and they were like, if you have a video that has 10 times your subscriber count, which you had plenty that did that, yeah, I guess that would count. But still, like, you would expect the recommended views to stay somewhat consistent as a percentage of the channel.
They legit, like, yeah, they legitimately, they fuck with content creators. You know what I'm saying? And like, and as I said, I want to pay for a service. That's what I want to do. I just want to pay for the fucking service, and then you provide the fucking service, and we go on about our business relationship. I don't want to hear no garbage about fucking fucking nonsense of my people are. If my people don't get fucking recommendations and I'm paying you, I want to sue you for violation of fucking contract.
Well, I mean, to be fair, those platforms do exist. Dave Rubin just started his, and Professor Peterson just launched his as well.
Yeah, fuck Dave Rubin. Yeah, Dave Rubin. Like, I
signed up for Dave Rubin's.
We'll check it out and see what it's like. Except, like, we're all going to work from. I think what's going to happen is we're all going to work from different angles. Like, I'm going to build the podcast up. Yeah, Excel's going to try and build that local.
So what has to happen is everybody's got to diversify. And everybody's got to network together. One of the biggest problems that I've seen so far is the same thing with, like, how Netflix used to be great, like, unplug your cable, buy Netflix. Now it's not, because a whole bunch of companies, when their contracts expired, were like, fuck it, we're going to launch our own streaming service. So now you have to have Netflix and Disney Plus and HBO Plus and all these other, and it just, like, turns out to cost just as much as your cable service. You're starting to see that now, like Blaze TV, the Daily Wire. I know there's two of them where you get to watch the full episodes of Drew Shapiro in Louder with Crowder. But those things add up. Like I don't want to pay for all those, right? Like they should be a package deal.
There's trade-offs for it because like one of my buddies back in the day, he wanted to get like ESPN just like for his work, but to get that one channel via the internet was like 60 something dollars a month, which was essentially basically the same as getting like a basic cable subscription at the time. And it's like with cable for all the years, I mean, you can have like 1,000 channels, but the vast majority of people tend to only watch like 6 to 12 channels for the vast majority.
Yeah. And so the thing with the internet, like with YouTube, is could have YouTube was going on the track whenever they were just being very lenient on the advertiser revenue, that any channel that took off that people watched, it would make money and it would suffice YouTube and it would suffice the actual channel creator.
And what did it incentivize?
And it was all centralized on YouTube. And YouTube actually just kind of tore apart their own business model in placement for what I believe to be ideology. You know, I think the advertiser pressure was real, but I think that pressure was pretty hollow from the advertisers. They have to know that YouTube's still the only game in town, and the people that are bitching are just YouTube's competitors.
Like yo, legitimate, like yo, real shit. Like YouTube, they easily could have just told the advertisers to go fuck themselves, right? And like they would have came back because they're the only game in town.
Well, that's the thing, Tom. Because like I thought that exact same thing. I'm like, they could literally just tell these folks to staffu, and it's like, okay, go advertise on Daily Motion or something like that. But then I played it a little more because I'm like, wait a second, if they did do that, then aren't they not directly acting as a monopoly in some way? Because I think you might see a lot of articles if that were to happen. I don't know.
So the idea of a monopoly does not scare me as long as it's a natural monopoly, right? Like I don't necessarily care that everybody goes to YouTube because YouTube offers the best. Another platform could come out and say, "Hey, advertisers, come to us. Hey, content creators, come to us. We'll pay the content creators to make sure that the content creators stay on our site." And the advertisers will be able to purchase stuff and they'll feel good about their investment because a lot of people are watching it. Because that's all YouTube did to become the number one. YouTube's going to fall. I don't know how. This goes back to, it's going to take a while. So internet people are very impatient. But when it comes to the actual market, if YouTube keeps going in the same direction, they're going to be the MySpace of social media in 10 years.
Well, that was the thing because YouTube for so long, like the reason why they were so good is because it was open to everybody. Like anybody could be a YouTuber and actually like, make their way up there. Like it was basically an open and free market there. And now it's kind of it's getting regulated. Some of this is legislative, absolutely, but it's also that it really just seems like it's becoming cable, man. It seems to be trending in that direction because even what you just described, making sure you have content creators producing things and then having advertisers like that sounds similar to like a cable set network, right? In a way.
Well, no, it's free. Anybody could watch all the videos.
Oh, okay. What? Well, I mean, free. You're getting something, whether you're you're watching an ad.
Well, BitChute needs to get its goddamn live streaming together. That's what needs to happen. Real shit. Like, because the moment BitChute gets live streaming going, the game's over for fucking YouTube.
Is StreamMe still around?
Nope.
DLive. Okay, yeah, that's right. I was on StreamMe once, and then 2 days later it was gone. But I was gonna say, like DLive, you'd almost think like that would be a fusion. I'm sure their backends are completely different and everything, but
they're just as garbage
platform.
Yeah, they're just as garbage over like all the fucking regulations.
Well, dude, no. The reason why I signed up for Dave Rubin's thing is because the way he pitched in, we'll have to see if this comes through, but I'm willing to spend a few bucks for a couple of months to see what the hell happens. He says, we will literally help you either build a website or basically give you access to his software. Because I went on it. It's kind of like Facebook. It's really like a Facebook. Except that he said he was willing to share like the information. Basically, you would be able to create your own.
Did he get loud for anybody else?
He
I got
didn't get
reverb.
No,
he
it's
got
fine,
he got
but it started echoing for you.
reverberated.
We're all echoing on you.
Oh, I was yelling over myself because I heard myself. That was my bad.
Welcome
All right,
back.
well,
My
we're
shit
good
went
now.
retarded. My shit went, yeah, because like I don't know, sometimes my service drops off a little bit, and then like all of a sudden like my phone will go into this mode where like everybody echoes and they're super loud in my fucking ears.
I was trying to talk over myself because I heard myself.
Yeah, it was the app. No, it's my app. It's my fucking fault. The fucking app on this fucking for Discord's garbage. But yeah, like fucking. I'm gonna tell you what. If BitChute gets their live streaming game together, it's all over for fucking YouTube. Like everybody will move over there who streams. You know what I mean? Because that way you can just do whatever you want. And we don't have to worry about this nonsense anymore. And we can actually build on a platform that we know will be there. We know we don't have to worry about advertisers. We don't have to worry about bullshit. They'll stand up for free speech. The guy's going to go to fucking, it will go to the fucking mattresses for you. And he doesn't give a fuck. And you can build on that platform and bring people there. And they legitimately need to get their live streaming shit. Once they're there, it's all over for you. There will be no more conservatives on YouTube anymore. And they can do whatever the fuck they want with this platform, but they're going to lose probably about 50% of their fucking viewers for political shit. And I don't know if that's a lot, though, to be honest with you.
Is that healthy though? Because shouldn't you have some balance? You always want to have a bit of an opposition just to make sure you don't go completely off the rails with everything that seems like good ideas. Because then that sounds like tragedy potentially.
They haven't figured that out yet. They're going to drive themselves into this little death world that the left wants to put themselves on, and they will be the cause of their own issues because the leftists silence themselves. If someone's not female enough, or someone's not accepting some sort of gender thing, they will silence themselves.
Yeah. So Wes, that just kind of reminds me. I don't know how much you follow this, but Tim Pool's constantly talking about how leftists control mainstream journalism and how a lot of these mainstream journalist sites are failing. And the response to that by the left wing was to try to unionize and implement laws that make it so that they can't just be fired. And the end result was companies going under and more people fired.
Well, that's the thing. We're past
they don't understand the economics of the entire thing. They feel so entitled to
you have so
having
many
their
years of
cushy
venture
job with
capital.
their opinion. Yeah.
Look at Rabbit. All of a sudden, their venture capital up.
Yeah, exactly. The venture capital's running out because they're just like, I mean, in a way, it's kind of a very mini tech bubble, right? The tech news sites. I find it hilarious that the workers are outraged at the companies that employed them. Whenever the fact of the matter is they were talentless hacks, and they just weren't driving any traffic, and that's the reason they didn't make any money. And furthermore, I think it's even more hilarious. I just want to do one more step above that. What's even more hilarious is whenever they get called out on them, like not really driving traffic, they blame their audience for being racist, misogynistic, racist, xenophobic assholes, or whatever the fuck, whatever the jargon is for the day.
Yeah, that's like my audience, man. They're not racist enough. That's the fucking problem. You know what I mean? Like that's not just a goddamn issue. Yo,
come on now.
You still get an M bomb pass because people think you're black.
I know.
I was one of them.
Nigga, I say nigga all the time. It's cool. I got a nigga pass from Tom Pnoid because he's black.
I know it's all broken. Like, yo, here's the real bitch though, but on some serious shit. So I did a video about YouTube versus BitChute a while back, and if you go through the top channels on YouTube, like go from like 1 to 1,000, 960 of them are Vivo channels. It's all right, and then like you go through like the rest of those channels, they're pretty much all game. And so BitChute needs to like bring those people over, or at least some type of music and some type of like fucking game over to goddamn fucking BitChute in order to try to compete with fucking YouTube.
Yeah, they should also compel advertisers to come to them, and they should use the same slogan I'm using for why I'm voting for Trump 2020. Because fuck you. Right?
I feel like there's companies that would jump on that.
You just tell people like, yeah, I advertise on BitChute because fuck you.
Yeah. Oh, there's white Nazis. There's Nazis over there. Fuck you. I don't care.
Yeah, no.
And I mean, I stand up for free speech.
No, you don't say anything about the Nazis. You just say, no, I'm on BitChute because fuck you. Right? Whatever they throw at you, just say, no, I'm doing it because fuck you.
You just licensed 5 seconds of CeeLo Green.
I did. Fuck
I would
you
probably
and fuck you too. Yeah, you know what? Like, we get CeeLo Green to be the sponsor of BitChute's new advertising campaign.
No. Couldn't you apply like ancient techniques that maybe weren't always the greatest, but we could make them greater or something again? Now, like take like a chain letter. Now, everybody hates chain letters, but what do people not hate? Conga lines. We just do a digital conga line going through all those videos with just a bunch of folks just kind of commenting and maybe treating people nicely and be like, hey, you have a good time? You like these comments? Hey, come join the party. And you can have whatever advertising you want.
Yeah, that's not a bad way to go. But bro, like, yo, look, it is 10:30. It's been an hour and a half, nigga. Like, yo, I gotta go to work.
All right,
you're a crazy mofo.
All right. You know what? I'm gonna wrap this up. Means of the introduction. You've been a veteran here for a long time, so I have nothing to say to you, Wes. I'm gonna give you the last word. I know this is a format. It's a lot different than how Frank does it. You just gotta interject. You gotta talk over people. This is it's the
This is intellectual combat, nigga.
Yeah, it's like
lowbrow combat.
Yeah, it's like The View for me.
Yo, it is not. Yo, there ain't nothing lowbrow about what we do over here. You understand that we are too highbrow for most motherfuckers, but we just put it in a lowbrow format so everybody can understand.
Yeah, we have fun.
But this is intellectual combat. You just got to jump in and like.
Anyway.
Whenever you see a moment of silence, you know what I mean? Like moment of silence, moment of silence, moment of silence.
Or
you just jump in and motherfucking start
talk really fucking loud over Tom Pnoid like I just did, and then you get your point across real hardcore. Anyway,
he's never wasting breath though. He's never wasting breath, so it's always entertaining to listen to him.
Yeah, so which is
sometimes he has a cock in there, but I mean, it's always fun to listen to him.
Sometimes he has a cock in there. God damn this nigga! He come over the top with the elbow and shit.
I do want to point out, man, I've actually been watching a decent amount of Old School Wolf's videos. He puts out content basically daily. Am I wrong?
I try to.
Pretty
it just
close.
depends.
Sometimes you
YouTube
put out like
uploading.
2 videos a day, and then sometime the next day, like you might not put one up. Anyway, he puts up a lot of videos that are very informative. Some of them are about issues that I would not have heard about if it wasn't for him. So anybody watching, go ahead and subscribe to him. It's going to be completely worth it. You're going to hear some shit that you're not going to hear from here or anywhere else.
Yes.
It's all about, we all came to the internet like this because we were seeking truth and we wanted to share truth. That's what started us all. We got tired of watching Don Lemon complain about Trump memes on primetime television, and I'm sitting there thinking, I want to hear about Catalan, I want to hear about Scottish independence, I want to hear about anything but some goddamn memes on Twitter. But that's what we're getting. That's what we're getting. So you guys may have seen Reportify. I told Reportify, hey, I don't feel like a reporter. He's like, hey, man, guess what? You're the new reporter. And I started thinking, you know what? What is the modern definition of a journalist?
Yeah,
when you look at ABC, Amy Robach sitting on the Epstein story for 3 goddamn years. And you know why she was bitching? Because somebody else broke the story before her. She didn't give a shit about all those kids that were raped.
Yeah.
And you have then ABC and the whole Syria bullshit, like freaking giving us they downloaded some random video off of YouTube, say, oh, this is Syria.
That could be a whole nother
So-
show. And you know what I think we should do, Tom Pnoid? Do you disagree with me?
What up?
Let's have Wes here be the guest of honor for a show.
Yo, man, look here, dude. Yo, man, we can make him the whatchamacallit.
we can do
Fucking
this
John we should do.
We can do the support a
Come on.
smaller YouTuber.
You're fucking right, yo. I used to love doing that shit, man.
I
Like,
did
yeah,
too.
we started
Dude, it was
off
great.
our show
But
doing that.
some of those people launched way above you. Like not a lot, but a few did. One of
I
them-
think Frank at one point.
Yeah.
Frank at one point he was
Yeah,
taller
that
than
might have
us,
been him.
and like we promoted,
well, yeah,
and that's pretty much it.
At the same time, we also did some people that just became the butt of all jokes on YouTube that I'm not going to mention their names here. But we did it.
Those who shall not be mentioned. Like, yo, man, look, yo. Sometimes, like, yo, you try to show love to as many people as possible, and some of those people are going to turn out to be shitbags. You know, not every one of your kids is going to be good people.
Yeah,
I mean, at least one of them is going to be a drug addict.
You know, it's really hard over the internet to diagnose a delusional schizophrenic. So
you
I
never know
get it,
how
man.
somebody's actually living. You know what I mean?
I
You
did-
really
I
don't.
gonna have to hear this story sometime.
I did warn you, bro. I warned you. I said this guy's bad news, and you let it go a little bit too long, and that was your only fault.
Yeah, man. I'm too. Like, I'll be honest with you. Like, motherfuckers think Tom Pease is wrong. Like, I'm too nice. Like, real. I'd be too nice to motherfuckers. Like, and that's a terrible thing coming out of my mouth, and it really shouldn't be. Like, yeah, we'll tell you the story someday, Wes. To be a fact, we got some videos that you can watch about this.
Yeah. We're more than happy to tell you the story. In fact, I'm probably a bigger dick than Tom P. Nobody would guess it, but I most likely am.
Yo, he is.
Pretty thick skin. You know, every good man should be thick skinned to take a little razzing from other dudes. It's not. No big thing.
Nah. Like, yo, I'm a fucking goddamn warrior, but that's not the point. I'm just nicer to people. Like, yo, Excel will step on a motherfucker's face and just keep it pushing. He's just that type of guy.
No, I'm actually way more cold. I'm just like I'm done with you, and like, you know, they say shit to you, and I don't respond. that's
Like
how-
7 feet tall.
that's
You
how-
have to
that's-
avoid
yeah.
stepping on people anyway.
So that's how I dealt with this person of interest we're talking about. Tom P was like still trying to be the savior. I said, "Stop."
I was trying to be nice,
He's
man.
he's fucking worthless. Don't do it.
I was like, yo, man, just be like, yo, man, we can just be nice and solve this with like peace. It's like, yo, that's where like my libertarian really comes from. Like, I feel like we can solve these problems with, you know, I mean, talking shit out, not bullets. But like, you know, I mean, the rest of the world, like, they go, hey, we just need to kill motherfuckers and class the Middle East. But yeah, you know, I mean, oh, by the way, West, that whole reporter thing, nigga, like, yo, look here, real shit. Yo, I feel bad about the fact that I'm a better reporter than CNN most of the time. All right. Yo, I feel legitimately bad about that because I should not be. All right, it should not be me bringing these stories to people because I sound like I write and I sound retarded. I should not be the one bringing these stories, but I have to because there's nobody else who will do it.
Start your new channel. Call it WNN, White Nigga News.
We already have the Guerrilla News Network. We have GNN, Guerrilla News Network. All right, yo, look, we already did all this shit, okay? Like, yo, like, man, look, we're already on this shit right now, all right? It felt like John Madden right there. We go out here now. That's how you move it down.
Sometimes my jokes are just above people's
Look.
heads. So.
Tom P, you can't win the game if you don't score any points.
Well, you know,
I'm John Madden.
When you go through, sometimes the guy who with the most points at the end of the game is usually the winner.
Try playing golf.
Yeah, that's football. That's for John Madden only talked about football. He never talked about golf. You know what I mean? He just, because I don't think he could walk through a whole golf course, just being real with you. You know what I mean? Like, he's a fat motherfucker. But anyway, yo, look, man. You know, he looked like one of them creatures from Where the Wild Thing. But yo, look, I want to thank Memes of Destruction for coming on, motherfucker, old school Wolf Media. Make sure you go over and sub to his channel. Somebody put the link in the fucking description, in the chat room. You know, what I mean, make sure everybody gets out there and subs. And as always, man, yo, look, thank you, Bottom Bitch, for running this, my brother, and welcome back. Wow, yo, we love you. You know what I'm saying? And we miss you out here. And I hope to be able to do this again. You know what I mean? Next week. You know, I really do. I hope we can get back on track and get to where we need to be. You know what I mean? We'll see what's popping though. All right?
All right.
Thanks for
All right,
having me
so
on.
shut this-
Wish I could have
yo,
gotten
shut
sooner.
this- Shut